So, when's season 3 coming out? Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 Stranger Things 2 moments.
I didn't realize Nancy had a sister.
Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. For this list, we're breaking down the moments that made us laugh, cry, and scream from the second season of everyone's favorite sci-fi horror series, Stranger Things. Beware, major spoilers ahead.
Last year, Will didn't get lost in the woods.
Number 10, Steve and Dustin talk hair care.
Fabergé. What?
Fan favorites Steve Harrington and Dustin Henderson are both extremely charismatic characters that crush every scene they appear in. So we were more than a little excited when Dustin recruited Steve in episode 5 to help him get rid of the ever-growing dart.
You still have that bat?
Bat? What bat?
The one with the nails.
From that point on, the two remained side by side through thick and thin, and gave us one of the funniest moments so far in the series. While walking along the train tracks dropping meat for Dart, Dustin inquires about how to pick up girls.
You gotta be stealthy, like a ninja.
Steve, ever the playboy, gives his 2 cents, but also reveals that the secret to his perfect hair is a few puffs of Farrah Fawcett hairspray. Sounds tough, Steve.
Use the shampoo and the conditioner, and when your hair's damp, it's not wet, okay? When it's damp,
Damn.
you do 4 puffs of the Farrah Fawcett spray.
Farrah Fawcett spray?
Yeah.
Number 9, Max stands up to Billy.
I thought I told you to stay away from him, Max.
Billy, go away.
It's always satisfying to see a previously belittled character stand up for themselves. Throughout season 2, newcomers Max and Billy fought like cats and dogs, with the latter antagonizing his little stepsister at every turn. Things came to a head in episode 9 during that epic confrontation between Steve and Billy in the Byers home.
No one tells me what to do.
After knocking him to the ground, Billy continued to mercilessly pound Steve's face into oblivion. With Mike, Lucas, and Dustin paralyzed with fear, Max took action, grabbing a nearby syringe and sedating her brother. She then grabbed Steve's nail bat, slammed it between Billy's legs, and forced him to say he'll leave her and her friends alone. Revenge never tasted so sweet.
Say it!
Number 8, Nancy and Jonathan get caught by the bad guys.
Mistakes have been made, yes.
Mistakes.
Yes.
You killed Barbara.
Okay, we'll just say it. Nancy Wheeler is the smartest person on this show, although she had some serious competition this season from Bob, who turned out to be one hell of a puzzle solver. Her intellect and bravado were on full display in episode 4, when she and Jonathan successfully tricked Dr. Owens into copping to Barb's death after allowing themselves to be caught by the folks over at Hawkins' lab.
We can't seem to erase our mistake, but we can stop it from spreading.
It was a stroke of genius from the 2 high school students, who ultimately used their newfound information to bring down the lab and provide Barb's parents with a sense of closure.
The more people like the Hollands know the truth, the more likely that scenario becomes.
Number 7, 11 and 8 are reunited.
I told you, stay out of my head!
So we're threatening little girls now, are we?
Season 2 opened with the startling revelation that 11 wasn't the only child to come out of Hawkins' laboratory. And while the show took its sweet time revealing whom this mystery person was, we finally got to see her up close and personal in episode 7.
Sister. Sister.
After leaving the cabin to search for her mother, 11 discovers that she has a sister and decides to track her down. Unfortunately, their reunion is short-lived and quite violent, with 8, who actually goes by Kali, revealing that she and her gang of misfits hunt down former Hawkins employees and kill them.
Everyone you see here was in some way responsible for what happened to us.
While 11 ultimately decides to leave, something tells us we haven't seen the last of Kali.
There's nothing for you back there. They cannot save you, Jane. No. But I can save them.
Number 6, Will is a spy.
We shouldn't have upset him.
Will being infected by the shadow monster at the end of episode 3 was perhaps the most traumatizing image of the entire second season. Well, until Bob anyway. Actually, scratch that. Watching Will helplessly flail about and convulse at the end of episode 5 after soldiers burned the vines in the Upside Down was even more traumatizing. In the following episode, Mike discovered that the shadow monster was using Will to spy on the group, later using him to set a deadly trap. A few episodes later, Mike discovered that the shadow monster was using Will to spy on the group, later using him to set a deadly trap.
The spy! The spy!
The boys had originally thought that Will was spying on the monster, but the realization that it was the other way around was one of the most shocking breakthroughs of the entire season. Number 5. Hopper adopts 11.
What the hell is this? Where you been?
Where have you been?
Few, if any, of the relationships on display in the first 2 seasons of Stranger Things have had the same emotional gravitas as the one between Hopper and 11. In season 2, we see them form a father-daughter bond that culminates in Hopper adopting her in the final episode. Big step forward for both characters considering their equally troubled backstories.
Congratulations, Pops.
And while their relationship has had its ups and downs, that psychic tantrum anyone? They always try and do right by one another, which truly makes them a family. Plus, Jim Croce, am I right?
We don't take risks, all right? They're stupid. And?
We're not stupid.
Number 4, the snowball.
Do you want to dance?
I don't know how.
I don't either.
So many awesome things happened in season 2's epilogue, we don't even know where to start. Shall we discuss that hilarious moment when Steve drops Dustin at the ball and compliments his hair?
Come on, look, you look great, okay? You look great.
How about when Nancy asks Dustin to dance after all the other girls reject him? Then there's Max and Lucas, who finally take the next step in their relationship. Of course, the best moment is when 11 walks into the gym and floors Mike with how incredible she looks.
You look beautiful.
Flanked by all their friends, including Will, whose zombie boy status actually works to his advantage, this scene is the perfect ending to another fantastic season. Number 3, Bob's sacrifice. Perhaps the saddest moment of season 2 was Bob's death. After the demo dogs ripped through Hawkins' lab, killing all in their path and disabling the power, Mike, Will, Joyce, Hopper, Bob, and Dr. Owens find themselves trapped. Bob heroically volunteers to reset the breakers so that the others can escape. While his attempt is successful, it's ultimately ill-fated, as he's attacked just as he steps from the exit. Making the scene all the more brutal is the fact that Joyce has to watch as her boyfriend gets devoured before her eyes. Thankfully, Bob did not die in vain, breathing new life into the others and allowing them to finish the job the following episode. Number 2, 11 comes home. We all knew it was coming. It was just a matter of where and when. True to form, 11 doubles back to Hawkins to help her friends, and she does it in dramatic fashion, showing up just in time to help them defeat the demo dogs and close the gate. The moment when she unlocks the door with her mind and walks into the buyer's home is one for the ages. The look on all their faces, particularly Mike's, is enough to make even the show's most ardent critic gasp in excitement. Of course, that was just the beginning, as she'd blow us all away one episode later with that epic gate-closing scene. Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are some honorable mentions.
Why are you Venkman? Because I'm Venkman. No, I'm Venkman.
Have admitted involvement in the death and cover-up of Hawkins resident Barbara Holland, who died due to exposure to an experimental chemical asphyxiant.
Number 1, Will tied to a chair.
What is this?
When the gang discovers that they can no longer trust Will, they disguise the buyer's tool shed and imprison him in it.
Why am I staying up? Let me go! Let me go!
With Will tied to a chair and demanding to be released, Joyce, Jonathan, and Mike try to get him to remember who he is. And trying to distract the being that's possessing him long enough for Will to communicate with them. And they do so by telling him stories from his past.
And you drew this big spaceship. But it wasn't from a movie. It was your spaceship. A rainbow ship, is what you called it.
The scene features some of the best acting of the entire series from all those involved, particularly Noah Schnapp as Will, whose glossy-eyed stare is one of the season's most haunting images. Not only does their plan work, viewers are also treated to a poignant look into the hearts and minds of every character on screen.
If you're in there, just please talk to us.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from Watch Mojo and subscribe for new videos every day.